Okay, fair enough. No, that's a good point. You know, it's interesting when you say he's not a politician. I have a friend named Daniel McCool who I've gotten to know over the years, and he's one of these citizen activists. I'm going to write a chapter about him in our book. He's one of these guys. He's a sheriff's deputy. He serves in that role. He's organized people. He's taken stands on public issues. He's a doer. You know, I give speeches at different events, and I've traveled and given speeches, and it doesn't matter where the event is. When you give a speech, you will get there, and there will always be the person who introduces you, who very nice person, and they may have a title. And then there'll be that guy who's standing over to the side who's sweating, literally, who's making sure that all the seats are set and everything's working out, and you know that the person who was supposed to get paid got paid, and that the security arrived, that the gates opened at the right time, that the program stays on pace. And sometimes that person annoys you, or you kind of laugh about them because they're the drill sergeant. Daniel's that guy. He is that guy in a volunteer capacity for probably 5 different organizations in and around Clear Lake. It's amazing. So he's sending out a brochure, and he asked me to write a statement. And I don't get into endorsing candidates like I used to, but I wanted to make sure that anything I could do for Daniel, and he thought it would make a difference. He wanted a statement for his for a mailer he was doing. So I drafted a statement. I only had a minute, and I drafted it on my phone, and I sent it to him. And I was struggling with how to say, this guy's a doer, not a talker. Rick Perry used that line interestingly. I mean, it's not necessarily my line, but he said that in an interview over the weekend as well. And it was, what I was trying to say is, you see these candidates. Mitt Romney will go before a group of Republicans and say, you know, they ask about the Tea Party, and he says, they're good people, and when they're right on the issues, we agree. And he might actually try to, through that process, convince you he's with the Tea Party. And he might try to make some vague reference to suggest that he agrees with you on key issues, but he doesn't. And he would never lead the charge on that issue. So there's my buddy Daniel McCool, and I was trying to say in a way that would really cut through to the audience, and it was hard to do. Because any language you could use, you've seen politicians use that line and misuse it, so much so that whatever you say seems vacant of any real meaning. I mean, what I wanted to say in about 500 words was, look, this is the real deal. I don't know the other guys in the race. I know this guy. And if you want somebody that'll stand up and do the right thing, this guy's the guy. Take some more of your calls to round out the show coming up.